You know what's the worst part about overthinking that nobody talks about? It's how exhausting it is. Because it's just non-stop. It's like not even somebody over your shoulder. It's like you're having three people in your head just constantly talking over each other. For me, honestly, it reminded me of growing up in a Puerto Rican Dominican household, and they're already loud to begin with. So I just felt like, PTSD. I'm back I'm back in the apartment in the Bronx. But that's how it feels like because silence is no longer enjoyable. Like those moments when I would lay down to go to sleep and like I'm tired, I'm ready to sleep. My body is more than ready, but my mind will still keep going about all the things I need to take care of and how I need to go here and pay this bill. And I'm feeling some type of way about something. And then I also have to just nonstop. And it's just like by the time I go to sleep, it's way past the time that I wanted. And I'll wake up feeling exhausted. So then I would think, okay, I just need more coffee or stronger coffee. And it felt like it worked. But all it did was just have me burn the little bit of fuel I have left and make me feel even more depleted. So by the time I go to lay down, it's just this constant repeat, and I never got to just refuel, recharge, just actually rest until I found out it was this. It was because of my mind constantly going. I had the intention to go to sleep earlier, but it was just a constant overthinking. And that's why this series, 5 parts about the cure of overthinking, is just for you to give you practical ways to get this to finally quiet down so you can actually rest. So sit back and enjoy. What's up? What's up? Welcome back to the channel. And if you're new here, I'm Mike. I'm a pattern breaking specialist, and I created this channel to help people get out of their head and come back into the present moment. And there's nothing that puts you in the head more than overthinking, right? And what's so interesting is when we catch ourselves overthinking, I noticed, right, that I would try to think about the ways to stop thinking. And then when I heard myself like say it out loud, it's like it makes sense. In the moment, it makes sense. I know what I'm trying to do. The mind solves problems. This is a problem. Solve it. Stop doing what you're doing. Stop this. Like if I could just look at my mind, I would look in the mirror and just be like, stop it. But the thing is, I started to pay attention as to what I was thinking about and how I was feeling because I notice we don't overthink about things that feel good. It's always about things that are stressful, things that are overwhelming, that make us feel anxious. It's always like this uncomfortable feeling of either not yet, like I can't rest yet, I'm not there yet, or I haven't done enough of this thing. It's always just this constant, like, I can't stop. And as I started to pay attention to how it was making me feel, because I realized thinking wasn't doing anything, it was just making the tire spin faster and faster and faster. So as I paid attention to how the thoughts made me feel, it's like, okay, I feel that's the way out. And I started to realize I can't think my way out of this. I need to feel my way out. And the common theme with all of the thoughts were the fact that they were just uncomfortable. So as I paid more attention to what the mind was doing, my mind was responding to how I was feeling. And those uncomfortable feelings don't feel safe. Like it doesn't feel safe to know that you can't rest yet. Because then it's like, okay, what do I need to take care of so then I can rest? Oh, you didn't do and you didn't do your part of this, or you didn't do enough of this thing. Okay, cool. What would be enough so I could do it and just be done with it? Because that's what will come to mind every time the day is about to end. All the things that still haven't been taken care of yet. So then I noticed that my mind is just scanning for safety, the things that would provide the feeling of safety. But because it's not here yet, it's like it amplifies, it magnifies the feeling of that discomfort more and more and more. The fact that I haven't done the thing yet, it almost makes it like top priority. The thing that I need to do, that my mind believes I need to do in order to relax, that all of a sudden is now like the most important thing in the world. And it's not even the most important thing literally. It's just now prioritized in that way because the mind is just trying to make sense of what would provide safety in this moment. So it's not even like really logical. It's just going based off of the emotion and it's responding to that. So I started to look into it. It's like, okay, what is affecting like my mind's ability to be logical? Because when I'm laying down to go to sleep and all of a sudden I'm thinking about the fact that I have to do laundry. It's midnight. I'm not doing laundry right now. Why is that all of a sudden the most important thing that I need to do in this moment? And I can't go to sleep until I do that. Or let's say like I need to mail something out. I'm not going to mail anything right now. But all of a sudden I can't go to sleep until somehow I take care of it. And it's like as I'm drifting off to sleep, it's like, remember the mail, remember the mail, remember. It's like, Jesus Christ. So noticed that the first way to provide safety is through the breath, because that anxious, overwhelming feeling, we're not breathing all the way when we're in that state. When I really notice, like when I'm overthinking, I'm not breathing deep at all. I'm just like short in and out. And it was almost breathing like I'm running. Not as intense, but pretty close. And I paid attention to, okay, my thought is making me feel really uncomfortable. And my body is like starting to tense up. And from how tense my body was, my chest, my belly wasn't really expanding enough to get air in because I'm like defending against this thought of like I'd done something wrong or something bad. And I'm not getting that much air in. So then I looked into it and I saw, okay, the brain absorbs 20% of the oxygen we breathe. So that means when I'm breathing like these short, shallow breaths, it's taking 20% of that, which is really not that much. So it's like gas wise, like for a car, not only does my body feel like I'm on E because I'm exhausted, but funny how that works, right? Instead of E for empty, E for exhausted. But my brain is also on E because of the lack of oxygen from that. So when I caught myself overthinking, I would remember that. Just I'll just tell myself like 20%, and then I'll take a deep breath. And I'll feel this rush. I even like every time I take a deep breath, I always feel it, but I feel this rush of like, ooh. And I feel like more oxygen going to my brain. I feel like more oxygen is just going throughout my whole body. Like I could feel blood pumping more. And like that, paying attention to that feeling would make me want to breathe even deeper. So, what I started to do is I would make everything a game because I don't want to add more stuff to think about, right? The whole point is not to think. So I found a great way to approach it is to gamify it. Make it a game. So I made it so how many times throughout the day can I check my breath? Can I notice how I'm breathing? And if I catch myself breathing shallow, then I would just do 3 deep breaths. A deep breath in the nose, like really filling in my body with air, and then a long, slow exhale out the mouth, like I'm breathing through a straw. Because the exhale really dilates everything within the body. Like it really gets like your blood vessels to open up and expand. And you really feel even like your vagus nerve, which is the nerve that gets your nervous system to relax. It shows you that you're safe. So every exhale, making it like long and slow, but like I'm breathing through a straw. So I would do that 3 times. And in playing the game, I started to find different ways to breathe deeper. Because when I was first breathing, when I was first breathing, yeah, when I was born, I was first breathing. When I was first being aware about breathing deeper, I realized it was mainly from the chest, right? Which is real common. It's just okay, like in and out, in and out. And then the other one is like the belly. So a deep breath, I'll breathe through my belly. But I'm always like intrigued by the anatomy of the human body because that's what helped me really get really good at fighting. Is paying attention to the human body and how it moves. I always like science as a kid too. So I know our lungs expand 360. So as I started to pay attention to trying to get more air in, because again, 20%, that's what I'm thinking about. That's what I'm focused on. Because the more oxygen to the brain, the more ability there is to focus. So I'm just thinking about how can I add more fuel to the brain by giving it more oxygen? Because the deeper I breathe, the more relaxed I am and the more clear my mind is. So how can I get more air in? And if our lungs expand 360, why am I only breathing through the front of just my chest and my belly? So I started to play with like positioning myself in a way where I would breathe into my back and expand my back and then breathe into my lower back. So, I mean, I don't even know if I could show it here, but I would take a deep breath and it's like my back will start to expand. So it's my chest, my belly, and my back. So now I'm expanding 360 because also my sides. And it's something that I picked up from fighting because in between rounds, I have a minute to catch my breath. Because if I go into the next round and I'm breathing, I'm going to gas out. So my strength and conditioning coach was also really good, like in science. Like he had the understanding of kinesiology, movement, of like how to work out, but also how to maximize like speed and power, like the exertion. So he would have me wear a heart rate monitor and just play with different positions of breathing. I would lay on my back, put my feet up. I would sit and, put my arms up and just all these different ways. And I found the best way is to crouch down and like a deep squat, put my hands on the floor and just breathing through my back. And my heart rate would drop like 40 beats in the minute, not like even more. And I would feel it like immediately. My heart will go from boom, 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 boom. I take like 2, 3 breaths from that position, breathing deep into my back, and it will go, and I'll feel this deep relaxation. And I feel like it's like round one, like I just started. So I carried that over to this trick of quieting my mind. So then it's like, okay, I'm overthinking. Let's take 3 deep breaths. But now let's breathe in like really expanding. And then that exhale, like, really felt like this nice wave of pure relaxation. I'm talking like bliss. You could try it now. Like, take a really full deep breath in and that slow exhale. I mean, your body would just melt right there. And that's the key thing that got me to see. Anytime I'm in my head, number one, I'm not feeling safe. So because I'm not feeling safe, I can't think my way out of this. So number two, I'm not really needing to solve anything right now. My mind is just looking for the safety that I'm not feeling in this moment. It's trying to help me. Because again, the mind solves problems. Right now, the problem is we don't feel safe. So, what could be the logical reason? Because physically, nothing's happening. We're just sitting still. So, then it has to be about these things that cause this feeling of stress. So, if we take care of these thoughts that cause these feelings of stress, we're going to feel safe. So, although, yeah, I still would need to take care of those things. In this moment, that's not the top priority. It's just a feeling of safety. So if I focus on three, feeling my way through and taking those three deep breaths and really slowing everything down, giving myself the permission to breathe. Because it sounds silly at first until you do it and you're like, no, it's real. I can feel that 20% of the oxygen going straight to my brain when I actually breathe in. And every time I was in a rush, because that's the thing, that's the tricky thing, is like I don't have time. Like, let me take care of this, then I'll do the breaths. But I realized that time never came because then I'll just keep going and going and going. And then next thing I know, I'm laying down in bed and I'm having, my aunts, my Puerto Rican and Dominican aunts just arguing in my mind. So I realized, okay, how can I convince my mind that I always have the time to just breathe deeply? So I was like, okay, how long does it take to do three deep breaths? It's like 15 seconds, 20 seconds. But then I noticed there were still times where I was still too busy to even do that. So I was like, okay, how can I even make it more convincing for my mind? It's like, well, just three breaths. I have time for three breaths. And every time I just labeled it that way for my mind was like, yeah, like we're real busy, but it's like, it's just three breaths. And I could really take in those three deep breaths. Doesn't matter like where I am. Like I used to work at a warehouse and it was like this luxury furniture and we had to like have everything all put together and prepped for the truck to pick up uh, the next morning. So it was like this constant pace. I was like, I don't care what the pace is. I'm taking three deep breaths. And then take those three deep breaths. I was like, cool. Now, then when I would go back to work, actually, like it was so much easier to find things, get things done. And then like I would carry that over to when I worked in a pain management office and I had to do like data entry. Same thing. Like I'm looking at all these words, they're all kind of looking the same. It's kind of looking like the screen from the Matrix. And I'm like, so okay, three breaths. I breathe and I say, oh, everything like comes into focus. So carrying that over to like what I did from fighting to that, and then also sharing that with clients because my clients are mainly entrepreneurs. So they carry like this constant long to-do list. And a lot of them own their companies. Like one was also like a partner of a law firm. So I could only imagine the paperwork. So handling that, it's like they told me taking those breaths gave them the permission to slow down, be more clear, be more sharp for their jobs, and just performing when they needed to and speaking with their team. And even for my client, like it's showing up to court. Like it seems like it's the smallest thing, but it really does have the most powerful impact. And it really just takes caring enough about ourselves to want to play the game of how am I breathing, which gets you to really pay attention to how am I feeling. And if I'm like stressed out right now and I'm overthinking, it may feel like, hey, I just need to take care of this. But now from this episode, you get to see why the mind is really making that so important. And the fact that when you do breathe, you'll be better at the thing that you need to take care of. You'll get it done quicker. So, this is just part one. We're going to go even deeper on how to provide even more safety because this is just opening the door to get the mind to quiet down. Because you can notice, like, even as you're breathing, your mind's a little more quiet, but it's still there. It's still buzzing. So, the main point of this series is to get to the point where it's silent and like you're fully here. You're like full on presence. You're so in the present moment that it's almost like the Matrix where everything is slow. And that level of stillness and quiet means you're not constantly burning energy. So when the time comes to go to sleep, ooh, it's the best sleep in the world. So, next part, we're going to go into how to provide a deeper layer of safety and how to actually start to connect the mind with the body in a way that you haven't before. This whole series is just going to be fun. And if you want a personalized approach for your specific patterns, like this won't stop, but on top of that, you feel numb, a little disconnected, burnt out, and like nothing ever works no matter how hard you try. Your emotions are a little scattered, a little overwhelmed, then the booking link is in the description below for a one-on-one call with me because that requires a direct approach. It will be able to tailor everything specifically just for you. So be sure to check that out. And to wrap this up, I would say in the comments, put how it felt for you when you took those 3 deep breaths. Describe what that feeling was like because as you describe it, your mind is going to see the benefit of you doing this. And it's going to slowly start to get on board. It's going to be like, oh, okay, instead of arguing against as to why you don't have the time to do it, it'll get you to welcome the fact that, hey, there's actually a benefit to taking the time to breathe in. So be sure to like, share, subscribe. If it's daytime by you, I'm wishing you an amazing day. If it's nighttime, I'm wishing you an amazing night. And I will catch you later.